Yo, it's your boy Marcus, aka Just One Marcus on the Just One channel, and today we are going to try to rebuild around Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, and possibly Andrew Nembhard, Jalen Smith, and maybe Chris Duarte. So I'm recording this on December 16th, and the Pacers did lose to the Cavs. They did not lose by this much. It was actually a pretty close game. But that makes them 15-15 on the season, so a 500 record, as you can see in the bottom left. And that makes them the 7 seed, but pretty much they're tied for like 6, 7, 8. Like all three of those teams have the same amount of wins. Well, the Knicks have one less loss, so pretty much they're like a 7 and 8 seed right now. I'm just gonna run this lineup out here for the rest of the season, and at the trade deadline maybe look for a Buddy Hield trade. I really don't want to trade Miles Turner. I think he's a really good center to have on this team. He's only 26 years old, so if we can get to a point where we can compete by like his age 29, we'll have like a 2 to 3 year window of him still being pretty solid as our center. But in real life, he's either rumored to go to a team like the Lakers, but there's also rumors going around that the Pacers might actually sign him to an extension. And if you see his contract thought there, he says he's gonna want to re-sign here in Indiana following this season. Like I said though, here's the lineup I'm personally gonna run out for the rest of the season. Benedict Mathurin still is a 6th man. Next year I'm probably gonna slide him into maybe the starting 3 spot. Same as Nembhard, probably slide him into the starting 2 spot. And then Isaiah Jackson and Nesmith will just be good bench guys, and TJ McConnell probably won't stay around for too long. We are at the trade deadline and we're below a 500 team right now. So if I go into the trade finder and look at a trade for Buddy Hield, we actually get somewhat of a realistic offer of stuff that's been going around in real life with this swap for the Lakers. So I would eat Westbrook's contract for 1 year. Here though, they're gonna offer their first, which is something they probably have to do in real life, to get off of Westbrook, who in this game is not shooting the ball well at all, and in real life really isn't shooting that well either. What I'm gonna do though to make this more realistic and to just make more sense, I'm gonna get rid of that 1st round pick of mine and then give them TJ McConnell, who can take over as their backup point guard role that Russ is playing right now. I feel like overall this makes them a much better team because Buddy Hield is having a great season. 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 42 from the field, almost 40 from 3 as well, and then 87 from the line, or 88 if you round up. So I'm sure they would agree to this. Let's see if they do. And okay, they're gonna, why would they give me, okay, Kendrick Nunn in this game is playing terrible, and then I'll just give him a second. So I'm just gonna do that because 2K is weird, but they agree to that. Post Buddy Hield trade, this is what the lineup's gonna look like. I'm gonna go heavier on these guys and only run a 9-man rotation. Benedict Mathurin slides into the starting small forward spot like I said before. I'm still going to have Nembhard off the bench, and maybe in a year or two try to slide him into that starting role. Nesmith's going to get more minutes, and I'm going to give Westbrook some more minutes as well, even though he's probably not going to be back here the next year. And then Isaiah Jackson is rounding off the rotation. So let's see if we can become a 500 team and maybe make a little playoff run, or if we're just going to be tanking and trying to get another good player to get in the draft to add with these guys. Season is wrapped. Luka's your MVP, Paolo Rookie of the Year, Jordan Poole 6th man, AD Defensive Player, Alperen Şengün Most Improved, and Joe Mazzulla Coach of the Year. Then here's your executive. Here's All-NBA 1st, All-NBA 2nd, All-NBA 3rd. None of our guys. All-Defensive 1st, All-Defensive 2nd. We do get Miles Turner there, so that's nice to see. Let's see what his stats were. He put up 14 and 9 with about a steal and 2.5 blocks a game. So definitely all defensive numbers right there. And then I don't think we would have, okay, we do get Nembhard on All-Rookie 1st, so he had a pretty good rookie season, all things considered. It does not look like we're in the play-in here, and it does not look like we made a playoff spot, so that is completely okay with me as long as we get a decent pick. Benedict Mathurin actually led us in scoring for the year. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. I don't know how he didn't make an all-rookie team. Okay, it actually says 2nd team all-rookie, so I guess I just didn't see him there. But yeah, great rookie season from Mathurin. Tyrese put up 17, 4, and 10, so averaged a double-double with 2 steals as well on very efficient shooting. Love to see that. We saw Miles Turner's numbers. Chris Duarte off the bench, playing pretty solid. His 3-point numbers dropped a little bit, but that's okay. Russell, we don't really care about his stats. Jalen Smith played good for me as well. Put up a block off the bench. 3-pointer. Maybe I'm going to have to mentor him with like someone who can shoot 3 so he can get some better badges for that. We saw Nembhard's stats. Isaiah Jackson, 8 points, 5 rebounds. A block a game as well in the minutes he was getting, so that's really good. And then Nesmith shot decent from 3, but overall not as well. So maybe I can give him 1 more year to up his trade value a bit, and then we can look for a Nesmith trade. So let's simulate these playoffs. See what happens in 2023. Ja Morant is your Western Conference Finals MVP. Giannis, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And the Grizzlies win with Ja Morant as your Finals MVP. Not that surprising that this might happen because Ja just dropped a triple-double on the Grizzlies and they completely smoked them the other day. Okay, let's see what the draft lottery is looking like here. I saw our name kind of middle of the pack, so yeah, we could have the 7th projected pick. Let's skip the lottery and see if we can jump up. And we stay at 7, so I'm honestly completely okay with that. I think I'm going to go with Cameron Whitmore. He's 6'7". His position at the top says small forward shooting guard, but I think I could run him at like the power forward, small forward instead, and his thing would make more sense. He doesn't really have a good three-point shot, but I think I could teach him that with some player mentorship. And he has LeBron James Hall of Fame ceiling, and he's the youngest guy here. Well, one of the youngest guys in the top 10 projected. So yeah, we're going to go with Cameron Whitmore with our 7th overall pick. With our 23rd pick, I think it is, we're going to go with Ricky Council, the 5th, I think that is. I think Ivy is the 5th, but this was the 25th pick. And then we have one more pick at 29. I think I'm going to take a flyer on Amari Bailey. He has James Harden Hall of Fame potential, and he has pretty good grades coming out. So they have him projected to go like in the 2nd round. I think he would probably end up going in the 1st round. So that is who we're going to take there. Cameron Whitmore comes in at 75. Ricky comes in at 73. And Amari Bailey at 70. Going to accept them all. I'm going to accept everyone's team player options except for these two-way guys, because I feel like these guys are all still pretty young and have the chance to develop at least into decent bench guys, or for the guys that aren't already starters. Goga, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to give him a qualifying offer. I feel like we already have a good rotation of bigs in our lineup. So before we go into free agency, I'm just going to get rid of everyone's cap hold except for Miles Turner up there. And then off rip, first day of free agency, I think I'm going to offer Miles Turner a 4-year deal bird. So he's going to start at 21 mil and end at 26 in his 4th year at 31 years old. And he's going to agree to that right away. So we're just going to get out a moratorium here and see what else we need for the team. Going into next year, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then one of these two guys being 8. Then Turner and Jackson is my 9, 10, and we already have some guys in the backup there to fill in just in case. So I'm probably just gonna sim to player progression and not sign anyone else in free agency. Player progression, Tyrese at a 91 now. Everyone else going up as well, except Miles Turner didn't really go up, but he's 27, so it's pretty reasonable. And then Daniel Tice is the only one who goes down, but he's not really going to be playing at all anyways. So here's what the lineup's looking like for the 2nd season. Tyrese at 35, Nembhard 29, Benedict 33, Jalen Smith 29, and Miles Turner 33 to wrap up my starters. Then Chris Duarte, 6-man with 17, Aaron Nesmith 17, Cameron Whitmore, my rookie, also getting 17, Isaiah Jackson 15, and then Amari Bailey rounding it off as 15 as well. So I think we can probably make a playoff push this year, or at least make it to the 1st round. So far it's not looking that way, so let's see what happens around the trade deadline. So I didn't really think there was any moves to be made at the trade line, so I just skip by it. Luka averages a triple-double as the MVP, Wemby Rookie of the Year, D'Anthony Melton 6-man, Giannis Depoy, Darius Garland Most Improved with honestly really good stats, Willie Green Coach of the Year, and Brandon Harrison Executive. Let's hope we got Tyrese on an All-NBA team this time, and we did not. And we do get Miles Turner on All-Defensive First this time though. He averages 12, 9, 1 steal, and 2.5 blocks. So honestly pretty much the same as last year, but I guess this year he was just better than some of these other guys. And then we don't get Whitmore on 1st team, but we do get him and Amari Bailey on 2nd team, so really nice. We were just under a 500 team, and it looks like we missed out on the play-in again. So this will probably be the last season that I let that happen, and I might look for some big upgrades. Well, not big upgrades, like some minor upgrades in the offseason. Mathurin still leads the team with 19, 4, and 1 though, on worse shooting than last year, unfortunately. So hopefully he's just having an off year. Tyrese Halliburton, 16 points, 11 assists on much better shooting than last year. So love to see that. Nembhard comes in as my starter, puts up 14, 3, and 6 with a steal, and almost shoots 40 from 3. Jalen Smith playing really solid still, but that 3-pointer needs to get better. I had Tyrese start mentoring him, but I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference. Miles Turner had a great jump in his 3-point shot this year though, so hopefully he can be consistent with that for the rest of the video. Here's Cameron Whitmore's rookie year. Honestly not bad shooting from 3, because when we drafted him it said he had like a D+, and if we check right now he still has a D+ 3, but he's putting up 33% from there, so that's pretty good. Here's Chris Duarte's stats. Very efficient shooting, Amari Bailey came in and shot efficiently as well, so that's really good to see. And then Isaiah Jackson really is kind of just like a defensive guy to have to back up Miles Turner, but his three-point shooting is kind of holding us back. So if him and Jalen Smith can't make that work, I'm either gonna bring down their tendency or maybe just look to trade them. Aaron Nesmith also actually had a great year, so if we can re-sign him and trade him, this will be the time. Let's sim these 20. Oh wait, we were in a play-in spot. Oh my god, dude. Wait, oh my god, I'm so dumb, man. Pacers are in the East. I'm tripping right now. That's very dumb on my part. But yeah, so we actually did make the play-in, but we lost. So that is unfortunate, at least for the rest of the video now. At least it didn't go on for too long, and I already tell now that we, I don't know how I got that mixed up, man. It's late, and I'm just tripping right now. James Harden, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Shea, Western Conference Finals MVP. So 2 years from now in real life, he finally brings the Thunder to a championship, and he wins Finals MVP as well. We're probably gonna be just outside or at the very end of the lottery this year. So yeah, we're at 13. I'd be shocked if we jumped up like very high, and then we end up actually falling to 14. So that's pretty unfortunate, and it does not look like we have any other picks. With my 14th pick, I'm gonna draft Scotty Middleton to probably come in and replace Aaron Nesmith at that backup small forward spot. And he has what did I see here? He has James Harden Hall of Fame potential, so he could work out very well for us. And then we just have a second round pick. I'm gonna let the assistant GM draft. And then Scotty Middleton comes in as a 74 at 19 years old, and then we get Will Richards here, who I'm probably just gonna pass on. So team player options, we're gonna accept Mathurin, Duarte, and Jackson, but not Tice. And then Jalen Smith declines his player option, so we're gonna have to give him a deal if we want to. Tyrese, Nesmith are both getting the qualifying offer. Terry Taylor, I'm probably just gonna let him walk. So Jalen Smith wants 16 mil. I don't think he's really worth that right now, so we'll see if I can go through free agency as Tyrese gets an offer from the Hornets. I think we're gonna match that. We'll see if we can go through free agency and get his price to come down a bit. Aaron Nesmith only wants 11 mil. I'm probably just gonna give him like 11 mil back for 3 years and then use him to maybe get a first round pick later, and he signs that. So I'm gonna try to get Jalen Smith at 12 mil a year back for 3 years, so he'd end up at 13.2, and it looks like he will agree to that, and he does. So here's what our player progression is looking like. This is very good to see. Literally everyone is green except for Nesmith, and he's probably going to be traded. So let's go to the next season and then see what we can get for Nesmith maybe and put our lineup together. The Mavs will give me a 2029 unprotected first and Maxi Kleber's 2-year contract that I have to eat, which he actually is stretching the floor pretty well, but hasn't really shot a free throw, and he's probably not the best on defense. And he's also pretty old, so he probably can't move that well for a 25-year-old Aaron Nesmith who just came off of a really good season. I feel like this is a pretty good trade realistically, because they get a guy they can stretch the floor around Luka, and he can just kind of break down a defense and pass to, and then just get rid of a first round pick that they probably would still be a good team by, so it might not be worth that much. Or if Luka ends up leaving, then it would be worth it to me, so they agree to that. I'm actually also going to trade Chris Duarte for a Milwaukee unprotected first from the Pelicans in 2027 and taking on JaVale McGee's contract, because I have too many rookies right now that I want to slide into the rotation, or guys that were rookies that just haven't played yet. Chris Duarte is 27, and I feel like I'd want those guys to play now, so in a year or two we can compete, or a year or 3, or 2 years or 3 years we can compete for a championship with the guys that I brought in. I also feel like Duarte is kind of stagnated. Like he's a really good shooter, but he doesn't really put up that many points, and he's not the best defender. So we're going to do that, and they agree. So here's what the lineup for the third year is going to look like. I'm kind of going heavier on my main guys like Halliburton, Mathurin, and Miles Turner, because I want us to finally compete this season. And the other guys are kind of getting a decent amount of allocated minutes. Nembhard, I actually might bring him down to and bring up Amari Bailey too, because he's such an efficient shooter so far. So this is what the bench is going to look like, and I feel like this will be the year. Well, last year we did make the play-in, and I didn't even realize it, but we're winning. We're kind of 500 now and losing games, so we'll see what happens. So we are at the trade deadline, and we're 29 and 27. Isaiah Jackson is just not shooting the ball well. Like, he's attempted 95 threes, I'm pretty sure I saw, and only made 18. Last year he attempted 113, if I saw that right. 173. I don't usually like messing with the tendency, so I'm probably just going to look for a trade for him for a center who doesn't really shoot threes. So the Lakers will trade me a 31-year-old Andre Drummond for Isaiah Jackson. I'm honestly okay with this trade. The Lakers right now are a 9 seed. They still have LeBron, but at this point, like, LeBron's 40. They have Desmond Bane, so like they're kind of competing, but they're not really doing much. So I could see this as the move where they're like, okay, LeBron's probably retiring this year. Let's get off some of our assets and get some young guys back that we can develop for the future, since they lost a lot of their picks. And I like Drummond as a backup for this team over Isaiah Jackson, so we're going to do that trade. Season is wrapped. John Moran actually ends up as the MVP, putting up 36, 8, and 10. So great season from him. Isaiah Collier, Rookie of the Year. Amen Thompson, 6th man. AD, Defensive Player. Jarvis Walker, Most Improved. And Taylor Jenkins, Coach of the Year. Here's All-NBA first, All-NBA second, All-NBA third. None of our guys. All defensive first, all defensive second. So Miles Turner is finally off there, and it does not look like we get any all rookie guys. So we end up as a 7 seed this year, which gives us at least another chance to make it into the actual playoffs. Here's the stats for the year. Benedict Mathurin continually improving on his numbers, while kind of being up and down with his 3-point shooting, but his actual points per game have been going up every year. Tyrese Halliburton still improving as well. He's up to a 92 overall. Nembhard is honestly improving very well as well. His overall isn't really going up, but his numbers are going up very well. Jalen Smith finally shoots a decent percentage from 3, so love to see that. Maybe he can stay as my power forward, or maybe I'll look for a main guy to be my power forward and he can be my backup. Miles Turner shoots 40% from 3. I think this is, first time in his career that he does it, so that is great to see from him as my big stretching the floor. This Ricky Council guy who I put in instead of Chris Duarte ended up shooting well for his first year technically. Cameron Whitmore not shooting the ball very well. Hopefully this is just a down season and he'll come back next year. If not, he could be a potential future trade piece. Amari Bailey improving as well, 40% from 3, very good. Scotty Middleton came in and didn't shoot the best either, but it's his rookie year, so I'll give him a pass. And then we had Drummond who came in as well. So game 1 against the Hawks. Let's see who they have on their team. They still pretty much have the same roster except no Capella now, and they have this guy Cole Hawkins as a 75 at the 4. So we should be able to win this game, and we actually lose it. So we have to go to the next play-in game, which will be against the Miami Heat. So the Heat have Nick Smith Jr., Tyler Hero, Jimmy, Trey Lyles 74 at the 4, and Bam at the 5. So there was just a team with a poor 4, and they were able to beat us. So let's hope we can come back this game, and we do. So we finally make it in the playoffs. We're an 8 seed going against the 1 seed Cavs. They have 3 90s in Garland, Mitchell, and Mobley, and then still Okoro and Allen. So I honestly don't feel that confident, but hopefully we can at least compete. We win game 1 actually. We win game 2. We lose game 3. We lose game 4. Yeah, 2K is gonna cheese me. Wow. We win game 5. And oh my god, we upset the Cavs in the first round. 8 seed beats the 1 seed. Mathurin actually led us in that closeout game, but he didn't really shoot the ball well. He was just chucking that thing up. Miles Turner, 18 boards. Jalen Smith, 14 boards. And Halliburton, 12 assists. Alright, we got the Pistons in the second round right now. They have Cade, Ivy, Bogdanovich. They have Kyle Anderson at the 4 now, and Kristaps at the 5. So they have kind of a switch up at their 4 and 5. I feel like if we could beat that Cavs team, we can beat anyone. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we lose. And is this going to be it? Oh, we go to a Game 7. So simulate with SimCast. Let's see if we can upset the Pistons in this Game 7. To start it off, they just killed us to start it off. Going into halftime, they're up by almost 10. So, yeah, it looks like we're kind of coming back and going into the 4th. And we do come back. We go up in the 4th. It's a very close game. If it's close, I'll jump in with like a minute left. It's a 1-point game with 1 minute 30. I'm going to go a bit further. It's a tie game with less than a minute left. We're going to jump in and watch to see what happens here. All right, Miles Turner inbounding it to Tyrese. Tyrese gives it to Mathurin. Let's see what he does here. Mathurin gets the pick from Miles Turner, goes for a drive, cuts it to Miles Turner, and Miles Turner makes the tough layup, puts us up by 2 with 45 seconds to go. All right, Cade bringing the ball up the floor, kind of drives around Tyrese and misses. But who is that? Kristaps Porzingis comes in and gets the rebound and dunks it right in after for them to tie the game. and the Pacers call a timeout. All right, Miles Turner inbounding it again. He gives it to Tyrese at the top. Tyrese gives it back to Turner for a 3, and he makes it. Miles Turner drains the 3 from Tyrese with 33 seconds to go. And the Pacers are up by 3, and the Pistons call a timeout now. All right, let's see if the Pistons can respond. Ivy with the ball up top. Probably waiting for a pick. Not getting a pick. He's waiting for someone to cut. Okay, he gets the pick from Kristaps. Drives in, passes to Kristaps on the cut, and Kristaps makes it a 1-point game. Pacers up by 1 with 17 seconds, and they have to foul Tyrese. Or actually, I don't think that was Tyrese they fouled. I think it was Nembhard. So yeah, it was Nembhard who got it and then gets fouled again. So they're probably just going to make some free throws now. First free throw was good, and second one is also good. So the Pistons probably need a 3 here. Cade brings it up the floor, spins around, and takes a terrible three-pointer from almost half court, and then they foul Nembhard again, I'm pretty sure. They actually fouled Tyrese there. So Tyrese made the first one. He's probably going to make the second one, and he does, and that is probably game. I'm just going to see if some crazy stuff happens in 7 seconds. So Cade brings it up, passes it to Bogdanovic in the corner, and he misses, and that is going to be game. So the Pacers upset the Pistons in the second round and win in game 7. Halliburton put up 29, 7, and 12 with 2 steals in that game. Absolutely insane. Nembhard came in and put up a double-double as well too, and then Miles Turner had a double-double with rebounds. Jalen Smith also had a double-double with rebounds as well. So we are in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Orlando Magic, who have Markelle Fultz, Jalen Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, and Wendell Carter. So pretty much the same roster. I feel like we can make an upset for the finals this year. We lose game 1, we win game 2, we lose game 3, we win game 4, we lose game 5, and we get eliminated in the conference finals. So I'm honestly not mad about it. Jalen Green is your West MVP, Paolo East MVP, and the finals championship of 2024, I think this is, or 2025, is the Magic with Paolo Banchero as the finals MVP. Okay, draft lottery. Let's see if we have any picks from any of the trades we did. It does not look like it. Let's skip the lottery, and the Pelicans win the lottery. And yeah, we don't have any lottery picks this year. So I have the 18th pick. Isaiah Elohim fell down for me. He's projected to go around 6 to 7, so I'm probably gonna pick him up here, and he ends up being a 75 coming in from the draft. Everyone's team option is getting accepted here. So we just had a huge run to the conference finals. I wonder if we can offer a max guy. So wait, wow, we're way off. How are we way off? So I'm gonna have to move definitely Drummond and Kleba to try to hopefully open up a max spot. But Miles Turner or Jalen Smith may also have to be moved. These guys are kind of like integral in the run that we just made though. Like these guys just role players, and he didn't even play. I'm probably gonna have to attach it first to get rid of him. So surprisingly, the Bucks in 2K are actually not even a playoff team. They have Kawhi Leonard somehow. So I'm going to send them a future first of mine to get rid of this Maxi Kleba contract here, and then they're just going to send me back 2 seconds, and they agree to that. I'm going to send Drummond to the Wizards for a top 10 protected future first for them. Right now they still have Scoot Henderson coming in and progressing, but Beal is still old enough to where he can compete, and they don't have a center on the team at all right now, so he can come in and either start or be a good backup, and they agree to that. So everyone up here has offers from their previous team except for LeBron, but I don't want to pick up a 40-year-old LeBron, except for Donovan Mitchell. So I think he would be a great pickup to this team to work off of Tyrese, and I'm 10 mil off from being able to sign him. I think I do want to keep Jalen Smith on this team because he's playing really good for me. Like he's averaging a block and starting to shoot the ball pretty well and putting up 8 boards. Cameron Whitmore has not progressed in the first 2 seasons he's played so far, so I'm okay with moving on from him. Scotty Middleton though, like he only played 1 season for me and he didn't play really well. He has decent grades, but I feel like I'm at the point, like we just made the conference finals. I feel like I'm at the point where I need to get rid of these guys to bring in a stud, and the Bucks are actually gonna offer me Kawhi. So I'm gonna send Cameron Whitmore to the Bulls for 2 unprotected first round picks. One is theirs and one is Denver's. Right now they're kind of like in rebuild mode. They have Mackenzie Mbako as a 3, but they could kind of put Mbako and Whitmore the same amount of minutes, and then whoever ends up coming out playing better could be the starter, and the other one could just come off the bench. So we're gonna do that, and then I'm just gonna send Scotty Middleton to the Warriors for a future first and 2 seconds. Right now they don't have anyone playing the 2, And Scotty Middleton actually came in, if I remember, being able to play the two. Right now I have him power forward, small forward, but they don't really have a guy there, at least at the power forward, who's solidified, so he could come in and progress there and be their main future power forward or even small forward once they lose Wiggins. So we're gonna do that. And now I can offer Donovan Mitchell a deal. I think I'm gonna do 37.5 mil backloaded, so he's gonna start at 37.5 and end up at 43. So he should agree to that because he has no other offers, and right away he is going to agree to that. So we signed Donovan Mitchell in free agency to put with this Pacers team. So right now I just need to sign a backup center, and Larry Nance honestly seems pretty solid. So we're gonna bring Larry Nance in for 1 year. I'll give him 5 mil for 1 year, and he should agree to that. He does agree to that, so we are good for this off season. Let's see how everyone's looking. Everyone's still either neutral or going up except for Larry Nance, which is understandable because he's 32 years old. So let's get this 2025-2026 Pacers lineup ready for next year. So here's what the lineup's looking like for the fourth season. I'm kind of going heavy on my big overall players and then my center, but I'm not giving them too much minutes because I still want Bailey and Nembhard to get a decent amount of play because they do shoot the ball really well and they're really solid players. So yeah, this is what the rotation is going to look like. I accidentally put in the 2023 draft class to be the next year's draft class. So hopefully win the championship this year so we don't have any weird stuff going on. But right now it looks like we're doing pretty good. Let's see probably at the end of the season where we're at. So season is about to be wrapped. As you can see in the bottom left, we are finally a 50+ win team with 51-30. Last game against the Celtics, and we win. So we go 52-30 on the season. Wembanyama already MVP, Ian Jackson Rook, 6-man Carson Wallace, Depoy Evan Mobley, most improved Tyrese Proctor, and coach of the year is Willie Green. So a team was about 10 games better than us. Here's All-NBA first, All-NBA second, All-NBA third, so none of our guys. All-defensive first, All-defensive second, none of our guys, and I doubt we have a rookie. We actually get Isaiah Elohim as a rookie. Oh my god, I had per 36, I thought he went crazy. Put up 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists with pretty good shooting. And we're actually the 3 seed with a 52 win record, so the East is pretty good at the top this year. Donovan Mitchell goes crazy for us, averages 28 on great shooting. Benedict Mathurin 20 a night still, even with Donovan Mitchell here. Tyrese, his points go down, but we don't really need him for that at this point. He just needs to be a good playmaker, shoot efficiently, and play good defense. Ricky Council has a great step-up season this year, shooting 50, 40, 90 actually. Jalen Smith has a drop in his 3, so if we don't win this year, I think I'm going to have to move on from him. Amari Bailey has a really good season. Miles Turner still playing great for me. Isaiah Elohim, we saw his numbers, and Nembhard still playing great for me. Nance came in and did not shoot well either, which is unfortunate. So hopefully we can do something in these playoffs. So game 1 versus Boston, we just beat them in the last game of the season. They have Tyrese Proctor, VJ Miller, Tatum at 99. They signed Giannis. So they have Tatum and Giannis in the front court, and then Rob Will still at the 5. So that is a scary first round matchup. I'm honestly not very confident because Giannis is insane. Yeah, we lose game 1. We win game 2 though. We lose game 3. We lose game 4. We win game 5. And we get out in the first round. Wembanyama is your West MVP and Paulo is your East MVP back-to-back seasons. That was just insanely unlucky. We have to verse the Bucks with Giannis and Tatum in the first round. Paulo is your finals MVP for the 2026 season, I believe. So yeah, unfortunately, we might have a season where it's kind of weird with the guys coming in the league because I put in the wrong roster and I wasn't able to change it. So it doesn't look like we have any lottery picks. We just have a late pick there. Rick Carlisle's contract is up. I think I'm going to move on from him. He did good for me as a head coach. But I have guys here like Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra who I think would just put us over the top. So I'm going to like max out both of Steve Kerr and Spoelstra and hope that I can get at least one of them. And they're both tentative, so I might actually miss out on both of them. And they do both reject me. Wow. Rick Carlisle is off the market as well, so that is a huge L for me. I guess I'm just going to go for Darvin Ham here and hope he comes to my team and he does sign, so that's kind of disappointing. We got Terrence Shannon at the 25th pick. I'm gonna decline him though because I just don't need any more young guys on my team, even though he's technically already in the league because I messed up the drafting. Team player options, both of these guys are getting it accepted. Matherin's getting the qualifying offer, not this guy though. So I need to bring back Matherin and Nembhard. I don't think that should be a problem. Right away, I'm gonna give Nembhard 12 mil backloaded, ending at 13 for 3 years, and Nembhard's gonna sign that. Then also right after moratorium, I'm gonna give Matherin 25 mil bird for 5 years actually, so he's gonna end up at 33 mil, and he signs that right away. So I just need another backup center again, and I'm probably gonna look for a trade for Jalen Smith. I honestly like Jakob here. I could pick him up for 3 years at around 10 mil flat if he takes it, and it seems like he will, so that is a big W. He signs with the Hornets. Oh my god, I should have gave him just like a 1-year deal. We still have Big Zoo here though at 29 years old, who I'm down to pick up for 2 years flat for, let's say, 11 mil, and he signs that. Here's what player progression is looking like. Tyrese goes up. Amari Bailey's actually progressing a lot as well, so he's probably gonna have to try to find more minutes from me if I can make it happen, and luckily we have no regression here. So let's go to the next season and look for a Jabari Smith trade. So the Bulls signed back Wendell Carter Jr., who's a really solid player right now, but they don't really have a team that's gonna contend for a championship this year until they get Zach LaVine off the books, who's only an 83 overall at this point, and then next year would probably have more money to bring in another guy in with their team to compete. So I'm gonna trade them Jalen Smith, the Lakers unprotected first, which could be very valuable, the Bucks unprotected first next year, which is very valuable because they don't have Giannis anymore, and they're gonna give me back John Bull, who honestly I don't even need John Bull. So here's the new trade I put together to make it more realistic. Instead of the young guy John Bull, I'm gonna take back Yuta Watanabe and then this other young center who's not as high of an overall for 2 of my guys who aren't really gonna play, and they should agree to that, and they do. So for this season, I'm actually just gonna let 2K do the rotation. I don't love doing this because it's not really like even with how they divide the minutes up top with the positions I have. But I have guys like Amari Bailey who are just such a high overall that I kind of need to play him more. So maybe 2K will just like put him into like a small forward or something, even though he's only 6'2". So yeah, we have a pretty even allocation until we get into these last 2 guys of minutes. I feel like this could be a year where we do make a push if we don't end up going against Tatum and Giannis in the first round. So let's see what we can do. I think the 6th season is wrapped. Wemby is your MVP. Brandon Miller Rookie of the Year, which this is messed up because I put in the wrong draft class. Matas Buzelis, 6th man. Triple J, Depoy, Bronny James, Most Improved on the Jazz. Willie Green, Coach of the Year. Here's All-NBA first with 2 Hornets on there. The actual Brandon Miller that was originally drafted is on there as well. Here's All-NBA second. All-NBA third, none of our guys. All-defensive first, all-defensive second, none of our guys. And we should not have any rookies. So we end up as a 3 seed again. We won 57 games. The East, the top 3 seeds in the East are pretty much all 57 and 25. So we're technically all tied for a 1 seed. The team started off really bad, so I did my own rotation, and this is what it looks like, and probably what I'm gonna run for the playoffs as well. So you can just take a look at that real quick if you want. Going heavier on my top guys and kind of less down here. Even though Nembhard is a really solid player, just because Amari Bailey's overall is higher, I feel like I have to give him more minutes, so 2K favors me. But yeah, here's the stats for the season. Not going to spend too much time on it unless I see something that stands out. So if you want to stop and look at one of the guys, you can. Everyone so far, though, looks like they're playing really well. And yeah, well, Wendell Carter dips down in his 3-point, but he's still pretty solid from there. Miles Turner back at 40%. Isaiah Elohim taking a step. We saw Nembhard for a bit, and Big Zoo playing solid for me. So first round against the Hornets this time, who have the 2 All-NBA first guys in LaMelo and Brandon Miller. Honestly, man, with these first round matchups, I'm just getting like the worst luck. We win game 1, we win game 2, we lose game 3, we win game 4, we win game 5. So we thankfully get out of there. And in the second round, we have the 2-seeded Magic, who I'm pretty sure have won back-to-back finals, that have 89 Azor Thompson, 89 Franz Wagner, and 93 Paulo, with Markel still, and then Garuba at the 5. I feel like we could beat them. Let's see what happens. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we lose. Game 5, we lose. Game 6, I'm pretty sure, we lose again, man. Oh my god. There's really not much else I can do with this team other than maybe trade Miles Turner for like another stud. The Pelicans win the finals with Isaiah Collier as your finals MVP. So that might be a move, but we'll see. Amari Bailey and Ricky are both going to get qualifying offers. So free agency, let's see what's going on here. Miles Turner is a free agent and wants 30 mil. So he's a 4.5-star system match for me though. One thing I'm thinking is I could sign him to a big deal and then attach a bunch of picks I've acquired to him to get like a real star there at the 5. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to offer Miles Turner 30 mil, but only for 2 years. And I'm going to make that flat. So when I do trade for him to a team that's either rebuilding or selling, they can trade him in his second season to at least get some more assets back for him. Wendell Carter is also a free agent, which I did not realize, and I cannot afford him. So unfortunately, he's going to have to walk. And that was kind of an L trade because I thought we would be able to win last season with him, but we weren't able to. Before we do anything, I'm going to try to sign Amari Bailey to a $32 million deal for 5 years Bird. He's probably going to progress really heavily in the next couple of years, so I feel like that's a good deal. And he signs that. And then we're going to bring Ricky Council back on a 3-year deal, backloaded starting at 17 and ending at 18.7. And he agrees to that on the last day of free agency. So player progression, Tyrese is actually already starting to regress, so that kind of closes our window even more right now. For this, I think 7th season. We're going to be 2027-28 season now. We've been competing quite well, but haven't been able to make that push. So now is the time I need to try to make an insane trade to make that push. So the Nuggets going into the season are a rebuilding team. They don't really have a good roster around Jokic. It says there's likely not a trade that can be made for him, but he's not untouchable. So I'm going to try to put together an insane package to bring Nikola Jokic to the Pacers. All right, this is likely the best offer I can make. 86 overall, 23-year-old Amari Bailey. Miles Turner, who's just kind of a filler guy to make the contract work. Chicago unprotected first. I'm going to give them their unprotected first back. Dallas's unprotected first, and then a future unprotected first of mine for Nikola Jokic. I don't know if they do it. I feel like it's a pretty good package, but I can't add like a bunch more picks like you can in real life. So let's see if they agree to that. And they do not agree to it. Okay, the last thing I can do to sweeten this deal is take out my first round pick and put in Isaiah Elohim, and I take back Chris Boucher. This is a really good offer. Let's see if they do it. And they still do not do it. They consider him untouchable. So the Raptors are also rebuilding. They have an 88 overall 29-year-old Deandre Ayton. I think he would be an upgrade over Miles Turner, even though he doesn't shoot the ball as well. So I'm going to try to put together a package for him. So for this deal, I'm going to see if I can just give him some young guys I drafted that really haven't had a chance to play because my team's been so good. And then they would take on Miles Turner's contract for 2 years to bring back Ayton, and then I'll also give them a future first round pick. I'd be shocked if they don't accept this, and they do agree to that. So DeAndre Ayton comes to the Pacers. I am going to get rid of Ayton's 3-point shot tendencies just because he does not shoot the ball from there, and I want him to be like a traditional big for me. So it'll kind of be like in real life, the coach tells him like, look, you're 29 years old, your 3-point shot still hasn't worked out. Like, I just want you to come in and be a traditional big on this team. So for this season, we're only running a 9-man roster. This is what the lineup is going to look like. Tyrese and Mitchell getting a bunch of minutes. Elohim and Mathurin kind of getting the same. Ayton comes in with 31. Bailey is my 6th man with Ricky, Nembhard, and Zubac rounding it off. I'm just letting 2K do its thing because even though I did it last year and we didn't start off good, I've been doing my rotations myself in the playoffs and it still hasn't worked out. So hopefully 2K will make it work. Season is about to wrap up. We go 53-28 with 1 game left, and we go 54-28 on the season. Luka MVP, here's Rookie of the Year. Dyson Daniels, 6th man. Wemby Depoy. Isaiah Elohim, most improved, so that's really good to see. Puts up 26-6 with 2 steals and a block on really good shooting. Mark Dagnall, Coach of the Year. Here's All-NBA first, All-NBA second, All-NBA third. Oh my god, dude, this combo here is just unfair. All defensive first, all defensive second, and then here's your rookie teams. So do we end up as a 3 seed again? No, we actually get the 2 seed this time, so that's definitely good to see. Here's the stats real quick. I honestly don't care too much for it this time, so if you see something and you want to stop, you can. But at this point, I'm kind of just all in like get to the playoffs and sim and try to get that championship. So everyone just looks like they play really well, and that's really all that matters. So here's what the round 1 matchup against the Sixers looks like. They got Bronny James and Kwame Evans in there, so, and they still have Joel Embiid, so that might be kind of tough, but I feel good with our chances. And I say that and we lose the first game, we lose the second game, we win the third game. So let's go into game 4 here, and we lose that too, man. Come on, man, there's no way this team is a first round exit. I'm just gonna sim one more year. I feel like this team is really good, and then see if we can make it to the championship on a championship run. The Magic have just been insane this video. So I'm gonna do something kind of crazy here. I'm gonna trade D Mitch, the 7th pick in a future first, for Anthony Black on the Pistons, who's only 24 years old. He's putting up pretty much the same numbers as Mitchell, but he's a much better defender, putting up 2 steals, and he's a lot taller, so I'm not gonna have a small guy as my 2 in the backcourt. The Pistons made it as the 5 seed last year with Cade, so they could use this as an opportunity to still compete and bring in a good guy and potentially another good guy to be there with Cade going forward. So we are going to do this in the offseason. All right, so we are in the 2030 playoffs now as the 1 seed. We won 59 wins, and would you look at that, we play the Magic in the first round. So I'm just gonna go through this quick. You can see what their team looks like there. So they still have pretty solid guys like Banchero and Thompson. And simulate round. All right, so we're tied at 2 apiece in this first round. We're down 3-2, bro. You can't be serious right now. You cannot be serious right now. You cannot be serious. I'm losing in the first round with this squad. It makes no sense. All right, one more year real quick. One more year. The Pelicans with Basala win year 2030 or 2029, sorry. NBA Finals. Okay, now we are in the 2030 season. We are the 1 seed, as you can see in the top right. We won 57 games. Here's what the lineup looks like if you want to see. It's pretty much the same. Off rip, I'm just going to bring the bench utilization down to 0 just so I can have my starters playing a lot more minutes. And in this first round, we have Charlotte, who I'm sure have LaMelo probably still, and they do. And they have Brandon Miller still as well. So these 8 seeds they've been giving me, man, is just like too hard. Like too hard of players having an 8 seed in a 1 seed matchup. As we go to a game 7, watch me lose. Okay, we make it out of the first round finally for the first time in a long time. Now we probably have a different Cavs team here who still have Garland. They have Bridges, Daniels. They have Garland and Zion now, man. Oh my God. All right, game 1, we win. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. Okay, so that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. And we have everyone's kryptonite, the Magic, who still have Paolo. They have Matas at the 3 and Azor Thompson. They probably have Matas because I loaded in that wrong draft class. Game 1, we win. Game 2, we lose. Game 3, we win. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we win. We're finally in the finals, man. This should have happened so long ago. I was actually losing so many series I should have won. Like, statistically, I was the better team. I had the better overalls. Wembanyama is your West MVP, and Anthony Black is your Eastern Conference Finals MVP. So we know they have Wembanyama. They still have Josh Giddey. They have Isaiah Evans at the 3. Their point guard and 4 are definitely not as good as mine. So let's hope we can take advantage. Game 1, we lose though. Game 2, we win. Game 3, we lose. Game 4, we win. Game 5, we lose. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust the rotation, like just the minutes, and see if that's enough. Game 6, we win. Game 7, simulate with Simcast. Let's see what happens. So far, we're starting off pretty well, and okay, it looks like they're coming back a bit. Going into the 4th, it's a 5-point game, and we're kind of running away with it. Now it's really close with a couple minutes left, but we're starting to pull away, and we win by I think 3 points it was. So the Pacers are your 2030 NBA champions with Isaiah Elohim actually your finals MVP there. So we end this Pacers rebuild with 2 90s here. Ayton just underneath. Amari Bailey probably getting there. Benedict Mathurin, I don't know if he would have got there. Elohim at 24 years old probably would have got there too. Hopefully you enjoyed the ups and downs of this video. In real life, I actually do think the Pacers will win in the next 5 to 10 years, so this is kind of also in that timeline. Leave a like and subscribe to see more content. Comment down below what you thought of all the trades or just anything you have a comment on, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.